Bonnie and Clyde. Who were they? Why are they famous? What happened to them? These are all questions someone might ask when faced with the topic of Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde were both considered to be stone-cold killers within the 1920s and the 1930s. They were exceptional escape artists, robbers, and murderers during this time. They were also considered to be in love with one another. This caused a lot of turmoil throughout America, and even in some cases, great stories to the Americans of this time. People were always extremely interested in Bonnie and Clyde and were on the edge of their seats waiting for the next story of them to come out in the newspaper or for them to hear. Many people that were not directly affected by Bonnie and Clyde had a great sense of curiosity for them. They always wanted to know what was going on, what they did, and where they may be going next. It was a great story for American people to hear. Bonnie and Clyde are famous for their robberies, murders, and escaping the scene abilities. Many times the cops were not able to stop or find Bonnie and Clyde. They escaped almost every time they committed a crime. Bonnie and Clyde were also able to cause havoc within jails by helping to escape some inmates and turning them into their interns. Bonnie and Clyde ended up being shot down by an ambush from police. They were driving down the road when all of a sudden cops came out of the woods and shot them down. This was huge to the American people because in a way it took away an interesting story to them. Many Americans would have liked to see them survive again for another interesting story, but sooner or later Bonnie and Clyde's reign as the most dangerous and stone-cold killers had to end. Bonnie and Clyde, being the story of their time, soon came to an end when they were ambushed by police. They were shot down while driving along a country road. Many people were happy that they got caught, but were sad that their story had to end. They were a source of entertainment for many people, and now that they are gone, the people lost a form of entertainment. Bonnie and Clyde's death immediately hit headlines across the country. Everyone wanted to see what was going on. There were crowds that formed around all of the memorabilia, like their bullet-riddled car, their guns found, and some people even tried to get a look at the bodies. Once Bonnie and Clyde were buried, there were graves built for them, and even at the site of their death, you can find a stone engraved with their names and actually see this is where they were shot down. People put flowers and gifts around their graves, which to me seems to be very ironic considering they were the coldest-blooded killers of their time. Although there were people out there that were sad that Bonnie and Clyde's reign as terrorists had to end, there were also those people that might have been directly affected by them that were ecstatic. For example, the police officers that have been trying to track them down forever were extremely happy with their deaths. Also, the owners of the places they might have robbed and the families of the people Bonnie and Clyde murdered were finally happy that they had died. Bonnie and Clyde, being the ones who get most and almost all the credit for the havoc they created in the 1920s and early 1930s, could not have done it all on their own. They had people provide them with shelter while on the run from the cops, and they even helped people escape from jail in order to have some other companions to work with. Some of the companions known to be with the Barrow Gang were W.B.D. Jones, Henry Methvin, Raymond Hamilton, Clyde's older brother Marvin Buck Barrow, and Buck Barrow's wife Blanche Barrow. They, throughout many years, helped Bonnie and Clyde keep out of jail by providing them with shelter, weapons, and even helping in some cases in the murders. Bonnie and Clyde robbed across 5 states, mainly including Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Louisiana, and New Mexico. They used to change cars often, stealing them whenever they could, and also changing the license plates. Clyde used to study maps in order to look for the best escape routes when they used to come into close calls with law enforcement.